Welcome to the Business Waves podcast with Amanda Moreno-Lake and Robert Ikard and our special guest today, Rick Ortiz.
Which is our president of the Greater Dallas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and we are just so glad that he's here with us in Oak Cliff.
Yes, and so we're here at the beautiful Oak Cliff Tower, and Rick has been with the chamber. You're president of the Chamber of Commerce, right? Of the
Greater Dallas Chamber of Commerce.
Greater Dallas Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And how long have you been president, Rick?
Since 2012. And first, let me start off by saying thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Well, that's a long time. That's a long run.
Yeah, it's definitely been, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but as you look back at, 2012, that's, 12 years.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I know you've been a great asset to the chamber, and you've been very active, and in fact, you're so busy that it's hard to get you on camera today.
Well, you got me today.
So, got you today.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the chamber is doing these days and programs that you guys have? I think it's a twofold question.
Sure. Well, we got a lot going on at the chamber. To answer your question,
Okay.
We've got 85 years we're celebrating 85 years to begin with, which that's a huge deal, as you know. And let me also say this too: Amanda is one of our board members.
Yes.
This is her second time around, so I did want to mention that as one of our board leaders on the board, and she's been very instrumental in helping us throughout this beginning of this 85th anniversary campaign. So we have our 85th anniversary that we're recognizing, and so we're celebrating the past. But we're also recognizing the present. Right. And then we're setting really the path for the future success of the organization and for the Hispanic community that we serve. So our mission is to grow and support the Hispanic business community in North Texas.
That's great.
And we do that through programs. And we do that through initiatives that are designed to help the businesses that we serve, which are Hispanic-owned businesses in the Greater Dallas area. We help them grow, to grow and be more sustainable.
Okay.
Create more jobs. And that's really what we do. We do that through advocacy. We do that through capacity, which is our programs, and we do that through access. So we connect them because we have corporate partners and other partners that bring resources to the table. So we're able to, those are our three pillars: access, capacity, and advocacy.
Yes, I had an opportunity to be part of a panel for, I think it was the Scale Up program.
That's correct.
And I really enjoyed just meeting entrepreneurs and businesses that were there and their stories and them creating their business plan and really just working really hard to continue to be successful. And I think what the chamber's doing is amazing.
Well, thank you. And that's part of what we do, is that we bring in our partners to be part of the experience, to be part of that journey for these business owners, because it's so crucial. Because imagine having Amanda on your panel when you're doing your presentation for your business plan.
Yes.
I mean, somebody like her to give you feedback, you don't get that every day,
And just also, I know she advises people on the side, and she's been in business, and she gives them direct advice on their business and is interested and curious about people. So I'm sure she's not alone. I'm sure your other board members and people in your organization do the same thing.
Yeah, we've got a great board group of board members right now. Some leaders that really do care. They're very passionate, just like Amanda is, about giving back and just making sure that our community flourishes.
Well, I'm going to jump around here a little bit, and so is Amanda. But who are some of the corporations that participate with you?
Sure. We've got some longstanding corporations like Texas Instruments, Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan Chase, just to name a few.
Wow.
We've got some new ones like Charles Schwab, and many others that we have that are part of the chamber.
And they have. I'm sure there's a variety of ways they partner up and
Absolutely.
help you guys, right?
Sure. So they can partner with us, and we have an investment guide that gives them an idea of what it is that we do, and also tells them what they can invest in. So they can sponsor our events, they can sponsor our programs, invest in our programs, as well as lend their expertise, which is also crucial. Like we talked about with somebody like Amanda, our corporates do the same thing as well.
Okay. And so do they have do they also offer like opportunities for internships, or I don't know if any.
Our corporates?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that we are working on is finding a way to be able to get into that internship space for us as a chamber, as well as for the small businesses we serve. We haven't gotten there yet, but one of the ideas one of the concepts that we're looking at is the possibility of incorporating our corporates for that. So that's something.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to get into too many details because we still don't have that.
Oh,
plan,
yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up because it's something that we are actually exploring.
Yes.
So 85 years in existence. So we have a really big gala coming up.
Yes.
Can you tell us the date and how can people attend, or if they're wanting to be sponsors? Can you talk about how they're able to reach the chamber to be able to do that?
Sure, absolutely. They can reach the chamber anytime by calling us, 214-521-6007, or they can go on our website, www.gdhcc.com. That's G for Greater, D for Dallas, H for Hispanic, C for Chamber, and C for Commerce.com.
Awesome.
Great.
That's nice. And so we'll get back to some of the current things, but I just have a little curiosity about where people started and how they got to where they are. So would you give us a little summary of how you got to be president of such an organization?
Wow, that's going to take, you got, I hope you have time for that one.
Yeah, we have 4 hours.
So
on it.
Great. So just kind of get comfortable,
I
huh?
don't have 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Don't worry, people. We're not going to have a 4-hour podcast.
Hey, we got a board member, so if he says be here for 4 hours,
I just made
I'm
that
here
up.
for 4 hours. So yes, going back to how I got involved with the chamber. So I got involved with the chamber. So prior to this role, I practiced law for about 9 years, almost 10 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, primarily commercial commercial litigation, and did some other work working. I was here in Dallas we had a statewide firm. And throughout that process, I got involved in the community. And getting involved in the community, the chamber was one of the first organizations that I got involved with. So I volunteered, served on committees, and then ultimately I was on the board of directors. And by 2009, I was the chair of the board. And when I ended up rolling off as chair, we had brought on somebody to take on the role as president CEO. That person decided that was not going to be the right fit for them, so they moved on. And as I was coming off, since I didn't have a president CEO when I was the chair, I was sort of the interim CEO. So I was kind of taking on both roles. And so they felt like, it took us a while to hire the last person, so we don't want to go through that process given we got to our economy is not exactly the best. We need to sort of take action now. And the board made an offer, and I thought about it over the holidays that year, and talked to family, and I felt that I was more passionate about the work I was doing there than I was. Not that I wasn't passionate about the work I was doing as a lawyer, but I just felt like maybe this is one of those moments where you just sort of life kind of takes you and gives you turns you around, and you go in a different direction. But it's been a great opportunity for me, and it's been something that I continue to be passionate about today. So that's how I got started, 2012.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. And so you practice law here in Dallas?
Yes.
Wow, okay. And I know you're from the same area I'm from, the El Paso, Las Cruces area.
That's right.
And we won't get into the Miners versus the Aggies. We'll spare the people that kind of information. And then we'll also spare people the information about who has better Mexican food from where we're from or here. we won't get into that. Amanda doesn't want to hear it. Okay, so we won't talk about that either. We're very biased, though, right?
It's a good topic to maybe for another day, but
who does have the best Mexican food, Rick?
I'm sorry, Amanda. But all I can say is,
you can't.
I mean, it is what it is, right? It's just a different type of food over there. It's
El Paso, Texas, and Las Cruces, New Mexico. They're very close.
I grew up spoiled with the stuff out the food over there.
Yeah, I know, me too. We're probably Mexican food snobs in a way, but anyway, we will get off that subject. But I can see right here you have your awesome website, and it shows people in all kinds of different
Yeah.
ignite your business, become an empowered CEO.
So what you're seeing here is we have all of our programs, our major programs are going to be cohort driven. So we have these cohorts they go through, and they're multi-week programs. So, and we're talking 8 weeks or more, and they graduate at the end of the day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they come and in fact, I think you attended the graduation in January.
Yes, I did.
Yes, with Amanda
Yes.
for our scale-up program. That
I
was
did.
the first graduation we had for a program that we were awarded a grant last year by Dallas County federal funds to operate the scale-up Small Business Accelerator program, Success Accelerator program. And that's a capacity building program for small, like I was telling you.
Right.
And they awarded us through our partnership with Grow America, which you also know who they are as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually the partners that we worked with, and it was a little under $2 million for
That's
for
great.
us to be able to operate that for a 2-year period.
So if you're for the benefit of the audience, if you're a small business and you what is the program?
So the program is it's really structured in there are different opportunities for you depending on where you are as a business. So, for instance, if you're an emerging business, which is from zero up to about $250,000 in revenue, then we have a cohort that would be perfect for you. We have an emerging business cohort that you can go through that will help you in your business at that stage. And then we also have for more advanced businesses that are more established. If you've been you're a seasoned business owner, you've been around for several years, you're maybe a few $1 million in revenue, and you're looking to sort of take that next step of really scaling even more to be able to do more business with corporate America. You're looking to be a supplier. Well, it helps you become compliant and contract ready.
Okay.
As a supplier at that level, as a minority business.
And it
yes.
teaches them
Teaches them that.
the
yes,
stuff that they
that's-
need to know.
That part of the program is called the Blue Wave program. We partnered with somebody out of Houston. Blue Wave is the name of the organization, and headed up by Alma del Toro and her partner. And it's been a great partnership because that program really just helps these businesses just really go to that next level.
And that's sometimes harder than starting a business.
Yes.
Taking it to the next level, right?
Yeah, because you
right.
you get to a place where you just don't know what you don't know, and even when you started, you didn't know what you didn't know, but now you're at a point where you think you know, but you really don't, because
Right.
all of a sudden your business, you can't. Many times these business owners, I just don't know what to do. I don't,
Right.
I can't, and a lot of they're just different things for different stages. It's very different as a startup than it is when you're $5 million in revenue and you've been in business for 10 years.
I always recommend every business owner to be part of a chamber because it's so important. You get to meet a lot of different people, you get to network. There's programs that you're able to go through that it's all about continuing your education in business, and it's about relationship building. And I think it's really important to be able to do that. And you have an opportunity to do that whenever you're part of an organization that really focuses in business. So I want to commend you for what you do because you've been our president for quite some time, and that speaks volumes of who you are as well and representing the organization.
Well, thank you, and I would love to take all the credit, but I can't. It's really the team that we have, the team
That's
that does all the great work, and that's really a big part of the reason why I was comfortable when I took the job, because we had a team that had been in place already. One of our team members, Gabriela Carvalho, she's been around since 2001.
Oh, okay.
She loves the work that she does. She's very passionate about helping these small businesses. We have Diana Flores, who's our other VP of Organizational Development. She's about as ingrained and as passionate about the community as you can meet anybody. And you know that because
Yes,
you've known Diana for a long time. And then the rest of the team really just they're just as passionate as the two vice presidents. They've at one point before we brought on the new team members a few months back, all of our team had been in place since I started. We had all been together since 2012. Now we brought on several new team members since then because we've grown and we brought on these new programs. But yeah, and we've got a great team that's been working together for some time.
Well, can I have you and Amanda, talk about what's coming up as far as the anniversary program, but in español?
Claro que sí. Bueno, estamos muy contentos de poder invitar a todo comerciante que venga y participe para nuestra gala que vamos a tener octubre 4. Es una celebración de la existencia de la Cámara de Comercio Hispana, que ha estado en existencia 85 años. Es algo que tenemos que celebrar. Todos están cordialmente invitados. Espero que participen y vengan a este gran evento.
Lo vamos a tener en el Anatole, Hilton Anatole.
Sí.
We're going to have it at the Anatole.
Oh, yes. In October.
In October 4th.
I heard that.
Octubre 4.
No, that's good because we can be bilingual here too on this podcast.
No, y van a tener oportunidad de poder participar y venir y conocer a otros comerciantes. Yo creo que eso es bien importante de poder. Ese día vas a tener la oportunidad también de poder conocer otros comerciantes que vas a poder socializar con ellos y platicar del negocio que ellos hacen, que ambos hacemos, ¿no?
Y cómo se pueden involucrar con la Cámara de Comercio.
Porque obviamente es bien importante ser miembro de la Cámara de Comercio. Yo creo que cuando yo era miembro, cuando empecé hace 25 años, la organización de la Cámara de Comercio me ayudó mucho a mí. Y ahora que he crecido en mi negocio, decidí regresar para atrás para poder apoyar y poder participar.
Y sí, eso sí, y muchas gracias por todo lo que has hecho, porque
Gracias.
Muchos de los negocios, las empresas pequeñas aquí muchas están ya trabajando contigo, ya
Sí.
haciendo negocios contigo.
Me ha encantado mi tiempo con la Cámara de Comercio.
So the thing is, in the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, can you, like, for example, let's just say we have a business out there that's thinking of joining and they're not sure, and they're not sure how important you all are or how big you are. Or can you tell us like some of the variety of businesses that are a member of the, because I know there's some, but it's better to come from you than me.
We've got across all industries. So really there's really no specific industry that we target or we focus on. I mean, a lot of the work that we do is geared towards helping businesses become contract ready. So maybe in the program side, we're doing more work with potential contractors and suppliers than we would with, say, a storefront, just because as a minority-owned business, there are certifications, there's a process to become a supplier. So it's important that they understand all that stuff even before they start bidding for the work. So yes, that's. But if you're any type of business, and you don't have to be Hispanic to be a member of the chamber. Whether you want access to our community and what we bring as a potential market for you and your business, or you're looking to connect with other business owners, you see the value and you appreciate the culture. We have a lot of people, Mexican food, everybody loves Mexican food, so there are a lot of restaurants that are part of the chamber. So there's a lot of opportunity there to connect with others in similar industries.
I mean, there's contractors.
Major contractors.
Yes, and
Developers.
Yeah,
yeah.
redevelopers and developers. I mean, it's just
Real
from
estate
all
people.
walks. Yes,
Yeah.
from all walks of life, and anybody that has a business is welcome. And like Rick said, you don't necessarily have to be Hispanic to join the chamber. If you have a business, you can join the chamber, which I highly recommend you do.
So do I.
And Amanda's right about that. As far as just general business, stepping aside, she's so right about connections and business contacts, and it's just vital to make connections and contacts, because no person, no man or woman is an island. You get wherever you are in this world through other people and working with other people, and if you think you're going to do it on your own, you're sadly mistaken.
I've yet to see somebody do it by themselves completely.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's really nice to see the camaraderie because I do go to the events, and it's very fun and it's very relaxed, and everybody laughs a lot and they have a good time, and so it's not like some formal thing. And there's a formal programs and things that help people a lot, but
Yeah. Well, it's we know that times can be tough at times, in terms of some businesses are in tough spots, or like we had the pandemic. A lot of the businesses. I mean, we had to stay front and center working to help these businesses during that time period. And during times when they just when things are going well, we encourage them to get involved as well, just because because it's important that when you're doing well and you're able to give back, we ask that you do so, because that's how we're going to continue to be successful going forward.
Right.
She's a great example of that.
Oh yeah, she is. She gives back a lot. She helps people. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen her help people that are destitute, to middle income people, to bigger businesses. She's helps people in all walks of life and all races and nationalities and everything. Amanda doesn't have any preferences, and most people in this world are that way. I mean, you just this is America. We're not, we all get along with each other. I mean, a lot of people think we don't, but I think that's a lot of what should I say? That's a negative. That's a negative thing that's not true. Because if you look at the way Americans behave in their day-to-day, you might, the media may portray people as broken up or divided, but we're not. We're really not, I don't think.
Well, we
in this
at
country.
the Chamber love everyone.
Yeah, we do. We work with, if you're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you, and let's see how we let's talk business, let's see what we can do to help really promote and grow the community. At the end of the day, we're all living in this community, and our Hispanic community represents approximately 42%. So it's important that our community, our Hispanic community here in the Dallas area, is successful, because it's going to ultimately tie back to the success of our local economy.
Well, that kind of brings something to mind here, because this is an international podcast. This isn't just going to be we're going to have international reach. But so, talk about Dallas. Tell people why they should consider Dallas.
Well, where do I
mean,
begin?
because there's going to be people that don't know anything about it, but might be thinking about or they've heard of it.
To relocate or to...
Yeah, to relocate, to do business. Well, Texas, Dallas.
It's always been very business friendly. And this is, I mean, if you're coming from... And we've had a lot of people move here from, as you all know, in real estate. I mean, you're seeing... the market has changed just because of all the people that have driven, that have come to move here. And I don't know what that's going to look like in the future here, in terms of... But there's just it's just growth that continues, and so there's that means that there's a lot of opportunity, a lot of jobs, and for these small businesses, it means that there's a larger pool of workers, their workforce opportunities that they're looking to fill.
And one thing I've noticed about Dallas, and Amanda knows this better than I do, probably better than both of us know, but Dallas has always been very, like you say, business friendly, but it's also been very business friendly in terms of the infrastructure. No offense to Austin, but Austin in many ways didn't want to grow, didn't want to build the infrastructure to grow. But Dallas is, I don't think we've ever had that problem here. So, Rick,
tell us about the exciting news.
So, a couple of weeks ago, we were very fortunate. We were actually extremely fortunate. We submitted and were awarded a grant by the Dallas Foundation in partnership with the Communities Foundation. They had these equity grants that they came up with. They had in the hundreds. Well, actually, I'm not sure. They had roughly. They had I think 60 over 60 applicants, if I'm not mistaken, and there were. 300 applicants, and how many awardees? 41. We were one of 41. We were the only one out of 41 that was recognized on WFAA for receiving the grant. It was a $100,000 grant.
Wow.
For one of our new initiatives that's going to help really make our programs more sustainable, long-lasting.
Okay, good.
It's called the Empowered CEO, and it's a fund that that we've put together that's going to be what really just drives and funds our programs and maintains them and keeps them sustainable going forward.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful. And
it's an opportunity for not just for us we received that grant, but it's an opportunity it's really more of a seed fund to help us build that fund so that we have that fund in place for us to be able to continue to operate these programs and it's an opportunity for our community to give back and donate, to
That's
contribute to
great.
this particular fund.
So is there an application process? Is
Deadlines or
Yes.
So that information we're getting out because we just launched it, the Empower
Oh.
TO. So more to come on that.
okay.
And it's an opportunity that's going to be there available for people going forward for this organization.
So your website might be a good place
Absolutely.
to start for a lot of
Perfect
that
place
stuff.
to start, yes.
Rather than like searching around on social media, just go
And
straight
so-
to your website.
We have a section on our website that's dedicated just to that. particular-
Okay, great.
That's great. And for
In
the
fact-
Blue Wave and the Scallop, is there applications,
So our programs-
deadlines?
Yes. So we've got we are actually registration is actually open right now for a couple of our program cohorts. We've got our Scale Up program for the emerging and for the established businesses. So if you're a business that's roughly in the neighborhood of about 250,000 in revenue, roughly, that's going to be the emerging business side of it. That application process is open right now, as well as for actually there's going to be a process open for the larger businesses as well, for the Blue Wave that I talked about earlier.
Oh yeah,
That's
okay.
great.
That's going to be available as well. We also have the Dallas Accelerator program, and do we have that available right now? Is there registration for that? September. Okay, because you guys
great.
just got your other cohort. That's
That's
correct.
great. Well, please go to the website and really learn everything you possibly can of opportunities to continue to help you in your business.
Because a lot of these are free to the people if they qualify,
They are free.
right?
They are
If
free.
you-
If you're a business owner and you qualify and you meet the criteria, it's at no cost to you. That's
So
why
that's-
they're
that's
funded.
a- that's awesome.
That's why that
And they
fund
get a
I
lot of-
talked about is so important.
Yes, and they get a lot of benefit out of this.
Absolutely.
And also the DAP program.
The Dallas Accelerator program.
Yeah.
That's another grant that we received, or a contract that we were awarded by the City of Dallas to operate the Dallas Accelerator program.
Okay.
And that one is in partnership with the Small Business Center at the City of Dallas, and that's in fact our team member here, Hesa, is one that's leading that particular program and has done a fantastic job.
That's great.
And that program ultimately
10 workshops.
Yeah, there you go.
We got it right there.
It's all right there. Yes.
And this is all in the website, so they can get all the information just by going to their website, and it'll
That's
give you all
wonderful.
the programs that are available, and son gratis estos programas que pueden aplicar. Son
También tenemos en español.
sí. Qué bien, qué bien.
Yeah. So all this is information you can access on our website. And as you can see,
Spanish and English.
Sí.
Yes, that is
Sí.
correct.
Thank
And-
you so much, because I think that's extremely important.
Yes, it is.
To be able to know that you are able to apply, and these programs are zero cost to the small business owner. It doesn't cost anything to participate, to join the chamber, but it doesn't cost anything for these programs. It does cost money to join the chamber, so let me correct that.
And you
Programs
and you-
cost money, but it doesn't cost the small business money.
And you don't have to, and you don't have to be a member to be part of the programs. That is not a
Yes.
requirement.
Oh, okay.
We
That's
definitely.
interesting.
Well,
I'm always pushing for the chamber because membership is important.
Yes.
But it's not a requirement for you to be a member of the chamber in order for you to apply for these programs. Is that correct?
That is correct, and it's not, and it's we work to help you. We will help you see why it's important to be a member as you get involved with the chamber. But we cannot require them to be members just because of the funding requirements
Right, right.
and some of these grant restrictions. So
Right.
we are prevented from doing that. But at the same time, we feel strongly that once they get involved, they're gonna see the value.
Once they go through the program, they're going to want to be a member.
Absolutely.
Because that is what's going to encourage them and
Yes.
motivate them, because of the education that they're going to get, and they're going to see the benefit
Yes.
of being a member of the chamber.
Absolutely.
Bet.
Well, I was actually going to ask you a question.
Oh, no.
Oh.
My question to you is, what is it that you like about the industry of commercial real estate?
Oh, I like commercial. Well, and in Dallas, is in
And in
particular,
Dallas, mhm.
yes. I like real estate because, well, first of all, just backing up to real estate, it's real. Somebody can't steal it in the middle of the night. They can skip out on a lease in the middle of the night, but that's a whole nother story. But somebody can't. It doesn't have wheels. You can't wake
pick up
up
a
in the
piece of
morning and
property.
it's gone. It's concrete. It's real. It really is real. And I love commercial real estate because you can do things that you can never do with compare it to residential. Residential, you're very limited what you can do. It's a house and it's maybe 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Very limited, in my view. Okay, you can live there, and that's great, and we need that. And I'm not putting down anybody in that industry because it's a very necessary and vital industry. But with the creativity you can have in commercial real estate is what I love, and how you can make something you can buy. You are a perfect example. But I've done it too, where you can buy or develop a property or redevelop a property, which was one thing, and turn it into something much greater, better income, better value, better fit for the community. And that's kind of in a nutshell what I like about it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Not to mention what it does to stimulate the economy right there when
Right.
like when you talk about Bishop Arts,
Yes.
some of these things that what that redevelopment has done to the local economy
Right.
Yes.
for the economy.
And for people that don't really know what redevelopment means, it means, you take why don't you let them know, Amanda? What redevelopment? You're president of redevelopment. I'll let you talk about it.
Okay. So I have a passion for old buildings that nobody wants or neglects, and I buy an old building and I divide it up, and I do divide it up to smaller spaces to give an opportunity for people's dreams to come true. And we started doing that here in this actually building on the 7th floor. We have lots of small office use, and we're starting to do 6-month leases just to give somebody the opportunity to get started. Because if it's the first business, they don't have the perfect credit score. They don't know whether they're going to be able to be successful or not. So we kind of, I hate to use the word incubate, but I think that's what we do when we do here in the office use. We have about 32 locations that we did here on the 7th floor, and we lease it out to small businesses and give them an opportunity to get started. So it's just rehabbing an old building and bringing it back to life instead of just tearing it down.
Now, can I ask a question?
Sure, absolutely. This is an open podcast.
Wow, this is unscripted.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have no
All right.
script. Everybody's just visiting here.
So going back to the redevelopment, so you're taking an already developed property, right? And you're basically redeveloping it, obviously, to completely change. Now, how much change do you normally require for something like that to
Well, sometimes buildings are built like in 1920, and it's just
outdated and
so outdated that you have to really gut it out. So redo all the trades, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, and so sometimes even the actual structure, the mortar of the structure, depending on how old it is. And so then we're able to redesign it and cut it up in smaller spaces. I mean, I think that we don't really focus on nationals. We really focus on small business and giving an entrepreneur an opportunity to get started. So that's my passion. That's what I've been doing for quite some time. I don't want to tell my age, but I would say over 25 years that I've been doing it. And I started at a very young age. And
10?
yeah, no, I wasn't 10. But I was actually 19 and no, actually 18 when I started. But the hardest part in any business is getting started, and so I've been able to do that here in the Metroplex, where I've taken old buildings and just divide them all up, and I have actually even a waiting list of some people wanting to come into Bishop Arts District because we're 100% leased.
Well, Amanda, you've seen a lot of people start business. You've started a lot of businesses yourself. What are some of the things you would recommend they do to be successful?
So one of the things I would recommend for them to do is, again, to join their chamber, because their local chamber.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend that they do actually have a business plan, have a community banker, not just one, have several community bankers, because you'll need a good banker that you can bank with. And also built relationships. A lot of small businesses, when they get started, sometimes of lack of not knowing, they'll spend a lot of money on advertisement, which they need to save that money and not spend and putting their names or of their business in every single publication, because there's a lot of different ways that you can promote your business. I mean, back when I started, we didn't have the internet or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram,
Billboards
LinkedIn.
and phone books, and
I mean, we just didn't have it. I remember looking at businesses on the yellow pages. In fact, I never throw anything away. I actually have those big, thick yellow page.
Really?
Do
Yes.
you still have some?
I still have some. It's in my warehouse somewhere, but that's what I would recommend a small business. It's really to join your local chamber, because you get to learn a lot by being part of the chamber. You get to meet city council. You get to meet city plan commissioners. I sound like a broken record because I say it all the time, but that's how I was able to meet a lot of people. You get to connect with people in different industries.
That's a
which
very
is
good point.
important, because nobody grows by themselves. You grow with people that you're surrounded by. And then also, I would say, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you in that particular industry, different industry, because you're not going to be smart at everything.
No.
So it's important that you surround yourself. Know what your limitations are and what your weaknesses are, and focus on trying to surround yourself with people on the weaknesses side so they can help you, because I think it's extremely important.
That's I just want to follow
Yeah,
up
that
on
was
something
great.
she said. That she one of the things that I'm glad she brought that up, because one of the great things that we do, that our team really focuses on in our programs, is so business owners that we work with in our programs, they're very good at their trade. What they do as
Their niche.
Their
Yeah.
niche, what their specialty is. But that doesn't necessarily translate to being a business owner. Just because and you're good at drywall or real estate or
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good business
That's
owner,
a great
because
point.
because those are two different things, and so we work with them on the back office side of things, and helping them understand what does it
Right.
mean to be an entrepreneur. You're a business owner too, in addition to that, because a lot of them I'll go back to my prior life. Before being a lawyer, I was a pharmaceutical representative. That was before law school, but meeting with doctors all the time, I came to realize that they just wanted to dump everything on the admin person, because they didn't want to deal with the business. They just wanted to deal with their
And be a doctor.
What they
their,
know.
to me, it was like the business potential that you're missing out on. That to them, it was like, I don't really care. I just want to practice medicine.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that's if you really want to be successful as an entrepreneur.
Yes, not only do you have to have a good banker, also have a good real estate lawyer, have a good attorney on your side. You have a good insurance person on your side, a good bookkeeper, Those are things that are extremely important to a business. And so when you join your chamber, that is when you're able to have the opportunity to meet those kind of relationships, to meet people that are in that industry. So I think it's important. Knowledge is power, and the more you get involved, the better you're going to be, and how you're going to be able to promote your business. No one's going to promote it more than you are.
Not to mention, you mentioned getting to know your elected officials. That's advocacy.
Oh, yeah, that's
and that's many times business owners don't recognize the importance of the policy side of things and how that impacts their business. And that's another area where we, as an advocacy organization for the businesses we serve and represent, that's one of the areas that we have to really focus on teaching them. It's the importance of that.
right.
If you're not active on the political side, it's hard to complain about policies that impact your industry.
Very good. Very well said.
Yeah. So be proactive instead of reactive.
That is
That's
so
right.
true. Because at every level, politics can affect
Oh yeah.
business, and if you're in business, you don't want certain things and you do want other things. So to know your elected officials.
Yes, I mean, you're dealing with sometimes with creating plan development areas, and when there's a plan development area that's created, sometimes the uses of your own property can change, and then maybe that use will become non-conforming. And what does that mean? That the type of use that you had before will no longer be legal to have that type of use. So that's why it's important to participate and get involved and build those relationships. And advocacy, of course, is extremely important.
So where do you see Dallas going right now? I mean, it's boomtown as far as I've seen. I know things have been, lately they've been a little bit, well, not really, but they've been a little bit slowed down a little bit. But am I exaggerating, y'all, by calling it boomtown?
No. Not at all.
I mean, maybe that's not a good. Maybe that's not a good termination, huh?
Boomtown on steroids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think back to. I mean, this area is more than doubled in size since I moved here. It's easily 2003. That's when I moved here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a different place than it was back then. And back then I lived way up north. I lived up in Frisco area.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, yeah. Huh.
So
talk about changes up there too. I mean, but everywhere.
It was a 2-lane highway after IKEA. The tollway
really?
ended. The tollway ended right there.
I hope you brought real estate back then out there.
Well, that's another podcast.
That's another podcast.
But yeah, it's just. I mean, the growth. So, and then we keep hearing, well, it's not going to keep going. It's not going to keep going. But we just sort of keep going.
Yeah.
Right.
But you just can't assume that it's going to always keep going. So you have to.
You got to prepare. And
prepare
plan.
for yes.
Yeah, I've heard
absolutely.
some wild. I've read about some wild predictions that we're going to surpass New York City at 2050 or something. I don't know, but that's not that wild of a prediction. I mean, what are we, 8 million now in the Metroplex?
We're supposed to surpass the Chicago. Yes, our metro area is supposed to surpass their metro area. I think in the next by 2030. Is that right? Is that what it is?
That's what I heard.
And back to the business policies, they're not doing a lot to stop it up there. I don't mean to laugh, but I mean what they're doing is actually helping us.
That's true.
I mean, the policies up there, it's not business friendly.
That is
in
true.
many of these places. People are
other...
flooding here from, and
well, it's hard to do business, and when you're dealing with a lot of taxation and burdens,
yeah,
a lot of policies that make it harder for you to do business. I mean, there are certain things obviously you want to, you have to have in place for safety, et cetera, but at the same time, don't make it harder on the small businesses and the business community as a whole to do business.
Right. Because, I mean, it's not hard to come down the road to Dallas from Chicago.
Clearly,
it's a free country. I mean,
from everywhere, really, yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly. Or to Texas in general. And just a little curiosity I have, what about the high-tech industry in Dallas? Can you talk about that any?
So that's an area that we're looking to really expand in. A lot of the businesses that we've worked with, we haven't had a lot of history working with a lot of...
Except TI, you said?
Well, TI, obviously, but they're
Texas Instruments for people.
Texas Instruments, but we're talking the small businesses that there are tech businesses, but not. We want to see more. That's an area that I think we have a lot of potential for growth. We have some businesses that are successfully out there getting contracts and opportunities, but there's a lot more we can do there. I think we can help start and grow businesses in that area, in that field.
But in general, Dallas is pretty.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think we've got more high tech, more tech than Austin.
Absolutely.
Even though Austin gets a lot of the publicity, but Dallas has got a lot of high tech.
Yeah, we do.
Well, and then so it's a gala. It's a gala. I was about to say that, and I'm like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. So tell us about that. It's going to be. Tell us more about what's going to happen. So it's going to be
gala. So it's going to be everybody gets to dress up, right? It's going to be in the evening. We've typically done our signature events. We have mostly luncheons, but this time because it's so special, we're going to do it in the evening. And we're going to invite we're not just going to invite everybody that's involved. We're inviting everybody that's been involved. We want to bring everybody back, and we want to encourage people that have never been a part of the chamber to get involved and be a part of this. It's the celebration of our community, really.
Yes.
And it's an opportunity to really just to do that and celebrate and join us, because I think it's going to be a great. And by the way, Amanda, something we haven't even touched on. She's the chair of our 85th anniversary, so of that committee. So she's been instrumental in helping us really just get the word out.
Well, the celebration of an organization that's existed for 85 years is extremely important in how it started. And all the wonderful things they continue to do to impact the community is extremely important. So that in itself is a big celebration. 85 years, and we're just so glad that this organization exists, because it really empowers small businesses.
Yes, and also, before I forget, which I already almost forgot, if you do like this podcast, please hit like and subscribe on YouTube and the various platforms. Give us a thumbs up or a 5-star or whatever the different platform requires. And
we want to thank you, Rick,
yes,
for coming and being part of this podcast. We appreciate it, and I hope all the listeners could learn something from it and join the chamber and come to our celebration of 85 years.
Thank you so much for having me. By the way, we also have social media platforms, so you can join us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and follow us on any one of those, or connect with us on that. And that's another area. That's another way to find out what what's going on with the chamber, what we're up to. In fact, that's updated pretty much daily. So
good. So mainly you update all those different platforms.
Yes, me personally, no.
No, I mean not you, but
it's wonderful staff.
But we have a great team that does, and
they keep up with your social media in general.
Absolutely. In fact, she's in here right now. She's the one that joined us here. Yeah, she's been great. So,
and what do you guys mostly focus on? Facebook or anything, or is it just you said
all the platforms?
All of them are
all the platforms.
You try to keep up with all of them.
Yes. Haisa does an amazing job.
She does.
That's good, because you don't want to focus on too much on one and then have it go out of business or something. That wouldn't be good.
No, we wouldn't be good at all. Yes. So thank you for having me, though. It's been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming, and it's an awesome way to start off, and it's going to be a great gala.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Please join us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.